Hey guys, thanks for dropping by my channel. But before we get into today's episode, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss future episodes. Thank you guys so much for your support and enjoy this episode. Bye. Hey guys, thanks for joining me on this episode of Flight of Fancy. I'm excited to introduce Kara. She is the creator of PS 101 Soy Candles. So Kara, thank you for joining me on this episode of Flight of Fancy.
Oh, but of course, darling. How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you doing today?
I'm really tired, but you know what? It never seems to bother me because anytime that I can run my mouth about my passion, I'm all here for it. I get like a jolt of energy. Plus, I'm looking forward to some crab balls I'm going to pick up later on this evening.
Nice.
I'm hungry, right? Don't judge me. It's been a long day.
I hear you.
I'm focused. You understand? I'm focused. But I'm so excited to be on the Flight of Fancy podcast. Very, very excited.
Well, I'm definitely excited to have you here and all of the energy that you are about to bring for this episode. So, Kara, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, what part? The business part? The goofy part?
I think we kind of want to hear it all. So maybe like a little backstory, like where you're from, and then whatever spice you want to throw into it.
Okay. So, long story short and shorter, but sometimes longer. I'm from Washington, D.C. My mom was in the Army, so I wanted to be rebellious and join the Marine Corps. So I joined the Marine Corps. I was in there for 10 years. I had to get out on medical. But I spent a lot of time with my grandmother growing up. So she covered me in a lot of areas, and she was the reason why I jumped out there and did business. But in my time in the Marine Corps, I had a wonderful, amazing daughter who is now making me feel like an ancient woman because she's 21 now.
Awesome.
I went to Bowie State University. Yes, you go Bulldogs. Shameless plug. I also attended Bellevue University in the state of Nebraska to receive my master's degree. I unfortunately have a very boring career, which I actually enjoy, working for the federal government, doing budget. So I work on formulating the budget and executing the budget. I am married to an amazing grandpa, but he's my husband. I call him my old man all the time. He and I have been married for almost 4 years. I have a very irritating, big-headed bonus child whom I love. He's 19. And when they say having a boy and a girl just gives you a whole new perspective on life, it gives you a whole new perspective on life. I'm an old woman. I'm 44 years old. I am sold out for God above all things. I love my business. I have passion for my business. But above all else, I am a minister, and I enjoy every part of it. So me being goofy and silly is just a part of who I am. It's kind of like I try to show people being saved isn't boring. So I let people know that. I love. When I tell you love, listen, did I say I love it? I love cooking for people. So I love having people over and entertaining. I love cooking. Oh, and last little fun fact, I am a vegan, plant-based liver of all things that are from the earth. So I do like to get creative and make a little fun ingredients and things like that. But I mean, I am a DC girl. I'm from Maryland, so the devil cannot have my crabs, and that's just is what it is. They're not going anywhere. Judge me if you will. But I have to have me some crab legs, crab balls, crab cakes, crab fritters, crab pies. Anything that's related to a crab, I'm gonna go ahead and give me a little city.
I know that's right.
But I do have. I do, as you stated, I do own PS 101 Soy Candles. And as I stated, my grandmother is a big part of my why as to why I do what I do. She has gained her wings, and I have been in business for almost 3 years. But she's gained her wings, and she always told me this is the one thing that I should do. Because I did, you become a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Right.
You have all of these things that you juggle and do, and you never really take the time to master them because it's just a side hustle. And for me, my passion of making fragrances is not just a side hustle. It's me being able to bring joy to other people. Because being able to see somebody their face light up when they smell something that I created, I can see my grandmother's face. And I know that she's proud of me. So she passed in 2016, and when she passed, my mother and I cleaned up her house, and she actually had one of the first fragrances I ever made. And I was 4 years old at the time. And it was empty, and it was beside her bed. And if y'all know about old people, child, they don't play with their nightstand. They don't put anything on their nightstand, right? They're very particular. Because grandma, great-grandma, big mama, they don't play with putting stuff on their nightstand.
Right.
So the fact that I made it to the nightstand was a big deal.
Oh, so, that's awesome.
At that point, I knew it was something that I needed to do.
Yep.
So that is me and all of my foolery in a big old nutshell.
Well, I love it. So I will say, I will go back to a little bit of your foolery. You say, like, some of your videos on Instagram are, like, if you're having a bad day, definitely go check out her Instagram, and we'll definitely, plug that in where you can find her for sure. But seriously, some of those videos are just hilarious.
I like to tell people all the time, like, life is too short to be serious all the time.
True.
And it always makes me feel good because some people will be like, you know what? Because if I don't, like last night I didn't do it because what was I doing? It wasn't important, but I don't know why I didn't do it. But that's okay. I'm gonna come back tonight. Don't you worry.
Yes.
But
I'll be waiting.
Some people are just like, I look forward to these. This is like the only laughter I get. I'm like, well, that kind of sucks. If my laughter is the only laughter that you get, but that's why I like to keep things light. Like, you don't see, if anybody goes to my Instagram page, you don't see a whole lot of pictures of candles and things like that. You see videos of me. You see pictures and videos of people actually using the product or being interactive with the product, because that's not my niche. Like, my niche is, if you got odor, we got your remedy. 1, 2, you can't come over if you not gonna smile, laugh, giggle, chuckle, kiki with me. Go on past my table.
Right.
Go on past my website. Keep it moving. Go take your salty drawers to somebody else, because I can't use the business.
Amen. I feel you. No, because that's so true. Because, like, when we met, I'm just doing my laps and all that good stuff. But, coming to your table, like your booth, everything, like just the connection that we had, within like the first 5 minutes, it was like comedy hour between the both of us. So, I mean, you definitely have that personality that draws people to you. But then once you, sit down and really start talking to you, like, it just keeps them there even longer. You know what I mean? And how you said earlier, just having that light of, people trying your products and all that stuff. Yes, they smell amazing, because I definitely have mine. I need to re-up, because I told you when we met, like, I'm definitely a scents girl. So I definitely need some more in my life, because it is really good.
You.
Yes, so I will be.
I got you for the smell good.
Yes, I'll be hitting up that website for sure.
Because you know what it is? It's something that people told me when I first started vending, maybe 6 months into it, and it didn't really dawn on me until like during the holidays is when it really dawned on me. And people have told me and what I remember is when you're first doing a product, right? You go when you scope the competition, you see who else is doing what, just to make sure that you're not doing the same thing that somebody else is doing exactly.
Right.
Still, you want to do your own thing. So I was at an event, and I saw another young lady who sold candles. Her stuff smelled good. She was very sweet. But the difference was that she was not engaging. And I know some people are not extroverts, and believe it or not, I have never been a people person.
Right.
I have never. And people are like, oh, that's so hard to believe. I'm one of those people where I'm really good behind the scenes, and I don't have to do I can do all the work you want me to do. Just don't acknowledge me in front of you. I'm good back here. I've always been that person. So I understood why she was just, she wasn't as welcoming. So she wasn't welcoming, and she didn't give people information. She didn't really, she was like, well, these are candles, feel free to smell. And the one thing that I pride myself on doing, and to be honest, even if it's people coming to my home and they haven't been here before, like I'll have women's meetings, or I'll have girlfriends, or your girlfriends, whatever the case may be, right? So when people come over, I don't just say, okay, well, here's the food, help yourself. I give people a rundown of the menu, what's in it, how I prepared it, and why I prepared what I prepared.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't eat the way that I eat.
Mm-hmm.
But oftentimes, information is the key, regardless of what it is, whether it's work, whether it's business, whether it's your family, whether it's children. Information is key, and you can never have too much of it.
True.
So even though I like to have a good time, I will say that the one thing that I've noticed is that people appreciate, and what I appreciate about myself is I don't take my craft lightly. So anytime I can learn something, I learn it. So when people talk to me, they are assured that I'm just not selling them a product, I'm selling them my brand and who I am. Mm-hmm. So it kind of, it sets it apart when you know what you're talking about and you're not just pushing a product.
Right, absolutely. But speaking about that, so I know when you did your introduction, you spoke about your grandmother and how she was, an instrumental part of you moving forward to start this. So how and why, aside from, having that push from grandma, how and why did you get started in, fragrances and candles and all that?
Girl, let me tell you. So because my grandmother's such a central focus in what I do, so if anybody has ever experienced PS 101, you have, and if any of your amazing listeners have experienced PS 101, we have a very different nose, right? So our blends are very different. And being 12 years old, I remember having my very first bottle of Gucci perfume. Kind of before rollerballs were popular, my grandmother had rollerballs, and she taught me how to layer scents and play with scents and all of this other stuff, right? But then, as I got older, I would play with scents, and I literally, don't judge me, judge yourself, okay? But, you know how people have a pantry full of food?
Right.
So I had a pantry full of candles, right? So I would buy candles like people buy food. And I was like, okay, this is starting to be a little problematic. You could really think you got a little problem here. You might need to scale that back a little bit. It was like every time I went to the store, I was buying candles because it was particular scents that I wanted, and I could never find them in one candle. So I bought multiple, and then I would have to burn them all the scent that I wanted. And I was like, okay, so there has to be another more cost-effective way, because, honey, your last name ain't Rockefeller, so you're gonna have to scale that back.
Right.
You got to scale that back. I know your hair was blonde, but you ain't Beyonce, boo. You ain't got that kind of money. You're gonna have to bring that back. You got a child to take care of, and child support is not enough. So you want to figure this out. So I said, okay, I'm gonna try to figure this out. And for a long time, I was like, nah, not gonna do it. But I was determined to do it because in talking to other people, they felt the same way. It was never just that thing. It was never just the right fit. So I was like, well, maybe I could. So I started doing it. I played around. I messed up. Listen, when I tell you she messed up a whole lot of coins, baby, I messed up some coins. Money just went out the window. I was like, goodbye, little birdie. It was gone.
Yeah.
Because candle making, fragrance making in itself, it can be costly because it requires so much tech, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't just do candles. So initially when I did candles and sprays. So when I began to do it, I realized after like my first year and a half, I realized, I'm like, yeah, talking to my wonderful people, because they my people, I love them. Talking to my amazing people that they are, and testing things out at home, I came to the realization that we are not that namaste, center yourself, relax. We're not that kind of company. That's not who we are. So because of that, we're more focused on odors. And that is when I was like, light bulb. So, like, if you get a spray, people will tell you, and I like to toot my own horn. Toot, Dad.
You got to. You for sure got to. Yep.
Yeah, and I got a big old 18-wheeler horn. Anyway, so people would tell me, like, I'm never buying Febreze again because it covers up the scent. Like, it just masks it. It doesn't make it go away.
Right.
So with our sprays and candles, the scents that we choose to use, it came to my realization from talking to the people and me testing products that that's really what we do. Because, like, if you get a spray, that spray, you remember the Pac-Man game?
Yeah.
The little Pac-Man, dang, 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 that little game?
Yeah.
So, anytime I talk about the spray, the best thing that I can say is it's like the Pac-Man game. So you have an odor, you take the spray, and all the little particles that come out of the spray bottle is like the Pac-Man, and all the little white pellets are the odor. So it just eats it up. It doesn't cover it. It doesn't mask it. It takes it completely away. So it's like it's like the old people would always say, if you see it, you feel it. So for me, it was a lot of different odors. Because I had a child, she played basketball. She was funky. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it all the way above. Her shoes was funky. Her teammates was funky when they got in my car. And I needed something. Just going to the store and getting them little trees that go in your car ain't cutting.
Right.
So when you got four little 13-year-old, 14-year-old basketball players, honey, them jokers is right after the game again. So you need something that's gonna kind of like, break that up just a little bit. Let you breathe.
Right.
Let you breathe a little bit in the car. So that was it. It was my need to be able to have my need and my family's need was talking to other people, because when I launched, I actually had a little testing group of people that I tested fragrances on before I added anything.
Okay.
So we came to the realization, we picked some scents and we added some new scents, because it was that thing of it's just one scent that you want, and you can never really just get that one scent most of the time. So that's what it was. That was a long way around.
No, I feel you on that, because I, like, even with my perfumes and stuff like that, I'm always like mixing and matching. Like, I will never have just one scent on. And so when people ask me like, oh, what are you wearing? I really truly have to think, because I'm like, okay, I know I put this on first, but then what did I put? You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Whatever one comes to my head is what I'll just go with. And then of course, like, everybody's chemistry is totally different. So it might smell one way on me and then smell totally different on you. But, that's why you got to go to the store, test it out, try it out, all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely a mixer.
People want the quick fix, though. They don't want to have to go to the store and try it. The days of going to the perfume counter, like when Hex used to be open, the days of going to the perfume counter are like so behind people. Most people don't even do it.
Right.
Because people it's like they've gotten so far past it, unless it's one of those situations where they just overly, they just really like to spend money, and they gonna go to Neiman's or Nordstrom's and they gonna drop $200 to get some Tom Ford, or drop $400 to get some cream. Well, God bless you. Drop it over. I just want some waffle fries from the Chick-fil-A down the street. Just go ahead. Swing that this way.
I feel you.
Get a little bit of that. But it's just like you said, people don't realize that your pheromones are so strong. Everybody has them. Because when you, just like you, and I'm sure you might not notice it, but because I play in scents all the time, I notice it with people.
Right.
Even if somebody is just woken up and they're on their way to the gym, and I've run into somebody at the gym or at the grocery store, and they haven't showered. You need to wash your butt before you go to the grocery store. Sometimes that's your business. Handle it how you want to handle it, all right? That's between you and the odor. Ain't got nothing to do with it. But some people actually, because they have gotten their body and the chemistry of their body used to wearing different fragrances, they will still smell like something. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, they don't smell musky, they don't smell funky, they still have a perfumey, oily type. It's still something that comes off of them. It's still an air that exudes off of them. Because it's just like getting yourself together for a pair of shoes. Gentlemen, I'm sorry. It's like I just close your ears. This ain't for you. But when a woman gets a pair of shoes, you get a fabulous pair of 4.5, 5 inch heels. She's like, yes, good that booty up. Get the heels. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, you got them shoes and they cute, but you have to break them in. But once you break them in, they fit your foot like a glove.
Yep.
No matter what you do, they fit your foot like a glove. And it's the same thing. Once you get your body chemistry used to always having a fragrance on, it begins to exude its own type of natural scent.
Okay.
And depending on what you normally wear, whether it's sweet, whether it's earthy, or it's a combination, your skin is still going to smell that way without you putting anything on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's kind of cool. Like, I mean, I'm definitely learning some more stuff because I never really thought about that, obviously, because, you know, that's not my realm. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I have thought about making my own stuff because I'm like, dang, I'm spending all this freaking money on all these other brands that I like, you know, but then it's just like, wow, I could be out here doing that, but now I have you, so I can just, you know, shift my coins to you, and, you know, it'll be a happy marriage, honestly, so I'm here for it. But no, that's,
we love to create. We love to create.
Yeah, that's definitely, like, I just never thought, like, you know, once, like, your body, like, gets used to it, but, I mean, I guess it's kind of like with anything else, right? So, yeah.
But people, it's just one of those things that people don't usually pay attention to.
Nope.
Because, like, if you're dating someone, for example, right, and you wake up the next morning, or y'all have gotten so comfortable that he just kind of comes over, or you go over there, whatever the case may be, y'all been dating for maybe 6 months to a year, and you can't figure out why you can't keep your hands off of him, or he can't keep his hands off of you. Sense attracts people, just like someone's physical appearance attracts.
Yeah.
Right or wrong, if somebody's funky, I don't care how fine they are. They could be more chestnut fine. They could be Idris Elba fine. They could be. What's the red boy name? What his name is? Jamal Moore. I don't like the little red boys, but
me either.
Sorry.
I like you know, the chocolate thunder. That's what I say.
Give me apricot.
Yes. Yo.
But, just like when, you know, they could be that fine, but if you're into scent, right? Even if you're not into scent, it could be something that's just off-putting about them, and you don't know what it is. Oftentimes, you smell somebody oftentimes before you see them.
Yeah, and I did see
and
something.
People don't realize, like, it's not just an odor, and it's not just a cologne or perfume. You really do smell someone before you see them.
Yeah.
Your pheromones in your body, the chemistry that your body produces, is truly animalistic. Just like we used to see them videos of Wild Kingdom and all that stuff.
Yep.
It's true. It's true for humans, and it's the same thing. And once you have lived with someone and y'all are together, your scents merge. And then other people around you, and they can see it and they can smell it. Like, scent is a powerful thing. No, I mean, you are speaking the truth, because, like, you know, certain, like, even if you're not, like you said, even if you're not wearing something, you can kind of, like, know who it is, or, like, who's in the room. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, because, like, obviously, I have picked that up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do know exactly what you're talking about. So, and a lot of times, like, I think I read something where it was saying, like, you know, sometimes wearing certain colognes, or not necessarily certain ones, but just wearing colognes or perfumes, like, can make that person even more attractive. You know what I mean? Just based off of the way they smell. So, definitely everybody for sure has their own personal scent or whatnot. Because sometimes, like, I'll even, like, I can't even remember what I wash with, because, like, again, I kind of, like, mix certain things, but it smells like super fresh and clean. I won't be washing with soap.
No, I mean, like, my clothes. No, let me rephrase that. So, like, if I'm washing, like, my clothes and stuff, I'll mix it, you know, and, like,
we on the same page.
Yeah. So, and then, like, some days I may just forget to put on perfume, which is very rare, because a lot of people do know me for my scents and everything. But they'll be like, "Dang, you smell good. What you got on?" It's called Fresh Laundry, but you know,
I got on some Tide.
Yeah, right. That Tide Pod. Yes, but I don't know.
It's true.
Yep, you were definitely right on that, though.
But to think about it, so the naturalists, the people that are like, no, I use crystals for deodorant.
Right.
Okay. God bless you. Go ahead with that, Mother Nature.
Right.
But they don't use regular soap. They don't use regular deodorant. They don't use regular toothpaste. Like, they making everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they got dreads and bushes and it's the men and the women.
Yep.
And they are so attracted to each other. But you know what they're attracted to most is each other's scent.
Mm-hmm.
Because to us, it can be funky. But to them, it's sexy.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah,
it's the weirdest thing.
It is, but it's so interesting though, right?
It is. I was playing in oils one day and I made something for my husband to wear, and I turned it into, so instead of being an oil, because it was nice as an oil, but for me it wasn't strong enough. Not that it wasn't strong enough, but I wanted it in more places. So, I like it if it's on his shirt or different places. So I turned it into a cologne. So he would spray it. And I'm not a jealous woman. I'm not. I know what's mine. But baby, when I tell you, we was outside at a festival and it smelled so good on him. I be like, boy, don't put that on.
Right.
You got some place to go. Don't put that on. Put that on when you get there. But we was walking down the street because it was an open festival or whatever. We was walking down the street. And these women came walking down the street. They was like, ma'am, I don't mean no harm, but he smells good. I almost got outside my car to like, what? Did you?
Yep.
You don't walk up to no married man and tell his wife that he smells good.
Right.
I had to remember, Karen, you made it. You got a business. Bring it in. Ain't nobody trying to. I said, okay. I had to fix it. I had to recenter myself.
Right.
Bring it back. And I was like, oh, well, thank you. Because at first I was like, heck, you look. Ooh. But because we were outside and, like, I could still smell it, but it wasn't, because I had gotten used to the scent. So I guess because we were outside, which was weird because I'm like, we're outside. But I guess maybe a wind blew or something and she got a whole inhale of it. Honey, she came walking and she was speed walking too. I was like, what you walking for? What you trying to do? What you want to do? Like, I'm nice, but I'm staying with you, catch these hands and tell people minutes. Don't walk on me like that.
Exactly. No. I get it.
I had to remember. I had to bring it back in. So it's very scents are a very integral part of our sexual being as men and women.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Men and women, men and men, women and women, whatever your flavor.
Right.
It's a very integral part in who we are. It's a very integral part of our makeup.
Yep.
It's like when babies are born, they know their mother's scent.
Mm-hmm.
They know their father's scent. So it's very integral. And some people are like, okay, can you get off of it already? My bad. We can move on. My bad. It's a big deal. I'm passionate about it.
No, I feel you gotta be passionate and like just speaking about those different things, you're also educating other people who may not really think about it or just maybe not that deep. But I mean, we're trying to educate and make the world smell good, right?
Hello. One nose at a time.
Yep.
One diaper at a time. All of that.
Right.
because it is important. It is important. And the other thing that's important especially about our brand is we don't try to be uber natural and like, oh, well, we're all vegan and cruelty free. Okay. So I would love to say I don't test on animals, but I'd be lying because I spray my little funky dog because he's like 90-some pounds. So when he outside, it's nothing funky than a wet dog or a dog that comes in from when it's hot outside.
Mm-hmm.
He must. So I will take a spray and I will spray my dog. So I know it's completely safe on pets.
Right.
He ain't have no allergic reaction. But we try to be as natural as we can.
Right.
But I mean, essential oils ain't cheap, boo. So my spray bottles are $6. If I use essential oils, you gonna pay $12 for it, because that little bottle, you get a 1 ounce for like $10, $12 for the pure stuff. That's not my life. I'm sorry.
Well, I can speak for it. It's definitely worth it. So definitely worth it. So get on it, y'all.
Get on it.
So
you won't regret it, I promise you.
I hear that. So I know we've kind of like hit on a lot of different things, but like let's see, who or what inspires you to keep going on your journey to keep creating these amazing scents and candles and fragrances?
Believe it or not, well, there's two people. Well, three. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to give a number. How about this? So, my relationship with God is very important to me. And I use that as an opportunity oftentimes. If, in fact, now, be clear, I don't like to make people uncomfortable. Everybody ain't Christian. Everybody ain't saved. I don't like to make people uncomfortable. But if I can feel that in my shana now, that you about that life, this is my opportunity. You know, we can have a real live conversation, because some people are very uncomfortable about talking about that. So that is, it's like, it's a gift that he's given me. And the word, basically, the word says, if I don't use the gift that he's given me, I'm being selfish and disrespectful to God, and I won't do that. So if he's given me the gift of sense and the gift to be able to talk to people and make someone feel better or make someone's day, then who am I not to bless the world with my foolishness, right?
Right.
And then my motivation are the amazing, amazing people that have supported me, that have been consistent customers, my people from my first couple months. They're still buying from me. It's like it's like giving birth. You give birth to a baby. Every step they take, every word that they speak, every colored paper that they do, it just makes you proud and reminds you why you do what you do. Mm-hmm. So my business is like my baby, but my people, they're just so amazing now. They don't have no problem saying, Kara, this one is not it. This is not a winner. This is not it. Mm-hmm. Do something with it. And I'm like, got it, duly noted.
Yeah.
But they're just amazing. If I say I'm going to be at an event, at least one or two, maybe more, will show up. Even if they don't buy stuff, they just want to come see me. They just want to hug on my neck. And it's like, well, Kara, if you stop doing it, who's going to take over the foolery of the world? And I know it's other people that will do it, but they've just been so amazing to me. And I'm just like, it's something that I feel like that I need to do. Mm-hmm. And the other part is because I view this as more than just a business. It's a lifestyle. It's a brand, but it's a lifestyle. And in that, I say that because for me, I want this to be something that my children can be proud of. Mm-hmm. If in fact that PS 101 goes away in the next 5 to 10 years, and somebody sees me or somebody remembers me or remembers, they say something to my daughter or something like that, it motivates me for people to be able to have positive memories and good things to say about me. And whether I'm 60 years old or 70 years old, for someone to say, oh, I remember you. You that crazy PS girl. You used to make me laugh. Or I used to love your scent. That kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It's just like, you can have all the money in the world and not leave a legacy.
Yep.
But it's not the amount of money you make, it's the amount of people that you touch.
Absolutely.
So for me, it's my people that motivate me.
But that's awesome, though, because, definitely having, people around you who support you is a big motivational factor for sure, because, being in business is, it's a daunting task, from the day you have the idea to actually seeing it in motion. So just being able to have supportive friends, family, and then just, we can call them strangers if you want, because they start out as strangers, but then as you evolve, they become kind of like your family, right? So, it's really good to just have that support, and just to have those who believe in what you're doing and knowing that what you're putting out is a good product. And that's also good that, the ones that aren't scared to tell you to revisit a certain scent, because sometimes some people will not always be 100 with you. So it's good to have those people in your corner as well.
No, and it's true. But I tell people anytime, if they're a brand new customer, if even if it's someone that my daughter knows, and because any of the jobs she's had, they're always so amazed. They're just enamored by it, because she likes to brag on me, and my son likes to brag on me, my dad. So it makes it a big deal. So like I said, that's part of the motivation for me. But I tell people in a minute, listen, you've never had this product before. So trust me when I tell you, I am 100% okay. We like positive reviews and critical reviews. If you don't like any part of it, if you're not completely sold by it, give us an opportunity to make it right. Or, if we got to give you your money back, I completely understand, because at the end of the day, this is not about me. If I can't make a product that you're going to like, and that you're going to fall in love with and appreciate and want to keep buying, what is the purpose?
Right.
Because if you don't like it, 9 times out of 10, it's a billion people in the world. If you don't like it, 9 times out of 10, it could be 3 out of 7 other people that's not going to like it. So that is me losing money every week.
Definitely.
So why not just take the criticism and fix it?
Absolutely. Now on the reverse side, so on the reverse side of that, because I know you said you get, advice from people and stuff like that. So what advice would you have to someone who is either in business already or is thinking about starting a business? Like, it doesn't have to be, with fragrance or anything, or just business in general.
So I actually just had this conversation just the other day with a young lady who she's wanting to branch out. And I just like to tell people, if you are not serious about this, don't waste your time and nobody else. If you are the type of person that does not have time or does not want to make time to go on social media to determine what it is that people want, to determine what it is that your followers like, if you do not have a customer avatar, like a set customer base, then you need to take your time and do that. If this is not your passion, like if you don't wake up in the morning and think about it, I don't care if you whipping shea butter, I don't care if you got a podcast, if you don't wake up in the morning and say, what's going to be my topic this week, or what can I do, or who can I get on it, it has to be something that fries your, that heats up your grease every day.
Yeah.
If it don't heat up your grease, you can't cook in low temperature grease. You can't fry that fish and get it nice and crunchy. You just can't do it. It has to be something that lights a fire under you every day. You have to be willing to interact with people. I don't care what business that you have. Mm-hmm. Even if you have an IT app or whatever the case may be, at some point you have to be willing to speak to people. And always, 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 you ain't never too big to learn. I don't care how much, you can have 27 degrees and 2 doctors. I don't care. Pick up a book. Pick up a book on marketing. Pick up a book on finance. Pick up a book in your area. Go online. Go on YouTube. You can never have enough knowledge. Because always remember, there's somebody else doing the same thing that you're doing.
Yep.
Always.
Yep.
So the one thing that's going to set you apart is the knowledge that you have and the confidence that you have in that knowledge to be able to set you apart from your competition.
I like that. So on that same page too, I wanted to ask, what resources are like your go-tos for personal and professional growth, and like what books or podcasts are you into, that help you, grow within yourself and within your business?
Well, I honestly don't listen to many podcasts. Of course, I listen to Flight of Fancy. I do listen to that.
Thank you.
With Sarita Jakes, I listen to her.
Mm.
And that's really it, because I have iHeartRadio and I always say I'm going to listen to it, but then I don't, because it's like when I'm outside working in my tiny house, I need music or TV because I get in a groove.
Yep.
And if I listen to something, if I listen to someone talking, then I'll stop so I can focus on what they're saying, and then I'll lose my two train of thought.
Yeah.
And if you get off on measurements, you can forget it. But there's a book that I was reading, my most recent book. I do read different books on leadership. The Millionaire Next Door, which is very good. 21, I believe it's 21 Laws of Leadership. What else? Of course, the Bible is always first and foremost. I read several books on marketing. Don't ask me the name of them because I never remember them. I actually have another book I'm reading from a local author here in Maryland. The entrepreneur. I have to go in the house to get it, but it's an entrepreneur book, and it's a very good book. It's a small book. It is a African American gentleman. The book is very, very good, but it is about passionpreneurs. Thank you, Father. It is about finding your passion to be able to make other streams of income. And it's not that it's something that I needed per se, but it just has a lot of nuggets in there that I could use. I do a lot of YouTube because people will put information out there on YouTube, like, for example, because like I said, I like to eat more plant-based than anything. So it's personal, not just business. I like to go in there and I like to watch other people cook. There are a number of the six-figure chick on Instagram. I follow her and I watch a number of her broadcasts and when she does her live. Also, King Ashley Ann, one of my absolute favorites. I'll follow her. She is absolutely phenomenal. She got nuggets. She's dropping all kinds of nuggets. I follow Dallas Gordon on Facebook. She's also on Instagram, but she is the e-com cash queen. So she can help you with the website. She can help you with business coaching. She can help you with building a website. She can help you with your business. She can help you, if you wanted to be a motivational coach or whatever the case may be. She has a number of different areas that she focuses on. And above all else, shameless plug, because that's what we do, I am a CEO chick with one, Colleen Otero, which is an amazing group of women that are their bosses. They have succeeded in different areas of their life. They've gotten to the point where they have all left their jobs, well, except Jennifer, because she still likes to work. But they take the time, of course it's a membership, but they travel and they take the time. You get a coaching session either every month or every quarter, depending on your package. But they have live calls that they do every week. It's a premium group that you can get in on Facebook. They do rebranding. They do everything. And I spoke with, I had my one-on-one call with one coach to coach in, and they're all phenomenal. They all have different areas of strength. There's one for mental health. There's one for finance. There's one for, if you have an IT-based company. And then there's Colleen. She does it, she does it all. She actually was a hairstylist, and she branched out and got a hair company. She has a few other companies, and now she has CEO Chicks. And it's been phenomenal.
Can you say the name of the group again?
CEO Chicks.
Okay.
And that's what they are on Instagram and Facebook. And it's a phenomenal group of women to be a part of, because I've been able to interact with women basically across the country. It's not just women here in Maryland, it's different women. Okay. So we kind of, we talk, we help each other, we ask different questions and things like that just randomly. So that's been a really good thing, because I love to read, and I have such a long commute home. So usually when I have time to read, it's on my commute home. And when I'm home, I'm either cooking, tending to my husband, or I'm outside in my tiny house.
I hear you.
It's literally a tiny house, y'all. It's a 12 by 16 shed. It's a 12 by 16 shed. I have heat. I have a TV. I have a burner. I have shelves. It's the whole situation out here. The whole situation.
That's dope. You need to have your own space, right?
I do. Because sometimes it's my escape. I'm the only female in this house now. I got a man dog, I got a man husband, I got a man child. I'm the only female. Sometimes I need a break.
I hear you.
I need to do some girl stuff. I need to see some pink. I need to do something.
Yep. So I know you keep a busy schedule and all that stuff too. So how do you relax or reset your mind so you can stay focused on PS 101?
Believe it or not, like, when I tell you I love cooking, if I can come up with a recipe, you would be surprised at things that, like, often, like, if I have something that is going to take a little bit of time, I have several journals. I write things down. I can't necessarily say I journal per se, like my thoughts and feelings, but I write down a lot of stuff. I have journals. I have, like, one at work. I have one in my book bag. I got one that I take to church. I got one that I keep in my office. I have a prayer journal. I have a dream journal so I can keep track of my dreams. I have a prayer journal for when things happen. I have, my to-do. So I have them everywhere. And believe it or not, when I'm cooking, if something is taking some time, I always have my journal in the kitchen. And it helps to clear my mind. Or like most people, I will come outside and I will turn on my music and I'll get my iHeartRadio going.
Right.
Child, in the Sweat Hotel when Keith Sweat be going, and I'm like, yes, Keith, play them all these dudes, come on. And then I'm like, I'm ready. All right, I can be out here. Because one night, when I tell you I was out here all night not paying attention, and my girlfriend, I didn't even realize it. My husband left and went to work, and my girlfriend FaceTimed me. I was delirious because I had my music on. I had a TV on, I had my music on, and I was focused because I had stuff I needed to get done. When I tell you she FaceTimed me, I said, well, let me go in the house because I'm kind of hungry and I got to go to the bathroom. Why was sunlight outside? I said, well, wait a minute now. Well, when did this happen?
Right.
I was so confused. I was like, when did the sun come up? What time is it? But I was literally out here all night. So music helps me focus because I even do that at work. I'll put my earbuds in and tune out everybody else and tunnel vision into my work. Music has always helped me. My stepfather growing up was a DJ, so music was something that was just in me. So it helps me to focus. It helps me to relax. And before I got these old dumb braces, and now I can't hardly talk about nothing because I gotta open my mouth so big so people can hear what I say. Braces are dumb. Don't give braces as an adult if you can help it. Stupid. Anyway. The other thing I would do is I would listen to music, or, oddly enough, and don't laugh, I would chew gum. Chewing gum helps center me.
Okay.
Can you believe that?
That's a new one.
It helps to center me. And I think it may be the rhythm, when you chew it. I don't know, but chewing gum helps to center me. So now, I can't really chew gum because I'm afraid I'm going to bite something and bite my gum or inside of my mouth or whatever because these stupid metal train tracks in my mouth. So I don't get to chew my gum, but chewing gum does help. It centers me. So I would like, literally, I would go to Sam's and Costco and buy gum in bulk.
Right.
Like a creepy old lady. I would buy gum in bulk.
Oh, man. So you were the plug if you needed some gum, huh?
Yes. Because I don't know what it is. It calms me and it centers me, and I'm like, okay. Like because of other fun facts. So I have anxiety disorder. So this is what they told me. So why I got out in the military. So I'm okay with being crazy. Don't feel sorry for me. I'm okay with being crazy. So the medicine that they used to give me would not allow me to shoot my rifle. So if you're in the Marine Corps, if you can't shoot your rifle and you can't run, you can't train, you're useless to them. The door.
Right.
Throw it all away. Like Zoe says. The door.
Right. I love him.
That's what
he cracks me up.
Throw it away. So that's pretty much what they do to you if you're unable to train. So because I have anxiety disorder, my brain oftentimes gets jumbled up. And over the years, I've learned I refused to take the medicine because I wasn't able to be a functional member of society. The drugs were serious. So over the years, I found things that helped me get myself together. Writing things down, regardless of how random they are, whether it's, Kara, don't forget to stop and get a bag of corn, or in the morning, make sure you don't forget to grab this lipstick because it's the color you should wear tomorrow. Regardless of how random it is, I have to write it in because it helps. Because when you have anxiety disorder, it's like, because I didn't sleep for, at one point in time in my life, I didn't sleep for 2.5 years. I might have slept. I didn't sleep. So it was rough because I couldn't calm down my thoughts. It wouldn't stop.
Girl, I'm right there with you. I know exactly how you feel.
You know, it's like, whether it was picking out clothes for work, whether it was cooking dinner, it's like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Who cares?
Yep, absolutely.
And it was like, I could get to sleep, but I couldn't fall. Like, I couldn't stay asleep. I was maybe 30 minutes, and then I'm back up. I'm like, oh my God. I can't watch anything else on Netflix. There's nothing left.
Yeah. No, I'm seriously though. So when you talked about all those different journals and everything like that, I kind of have that set up as well. Because I have, one for just like daily reflection and all that. Then I have one for my businesses, like one for the mental, so I guess like I have 2 for those. So I guess I'm equally as crazy, but, no.
Well, hey, crazy girl.
Hey. And then like I have like, just another one, and just for like other thoughts and things like that. So I definitely get where you're coming from, and it does help. And I have seen like a different shift, because I kind of want to talk about that a little bit. I mean, if you're open to that as well, because I mean, and I've opened up about this and I've also done a video, but like I do see a therapist, you know what I'm saying, now, which has been life-changing for me, I'll say, because, again, like I say on every episode or whatever, when I talk about it, I was very like anti-therapy type of situation, but because I have so many thoughts just running through my head and all that, I get overwhelmed, and then it's just like I just lash out, you know what I'm saying? So it definitely helps to like write down certain aspects of, no matter what it is, because it helps to remember what the hell you were thinking about. But not only that, you can also go back and reflect on it. So yeah, definitely, I'm not as diligent, with my nightly reflections, but, when it hits me, I'll, voice that, or like write it down and all that good stuff. But I'm with you. Writing it down definitely does help. And, I'm just trying to stay diligent within that. So, I understand.
You gotta find, whatever it is. So everybody is different. And honestly, that's when I was going through that, and I was actually coming out of it, because, and not to be overly spiritual, because I mean I can be, but not to be overly spiritual, but this is my truth. When I was taking all those different medicines, and it got to the point where the medicines were getting so expensive, I went outside of the VA and I went to see a private doctor, and they gave me medicine. But oddly enough, the VA was not covering, because they just wanted to continue to medicate us and give us drugs that make us dependent, and don't want to give us things to help us, is what I believe. I can't say that to be true, but it's what I believe. So I was taking this other medicine, and then it was getting really costly. It was like $130 a month. But it got to a point where I was tired of being sick and tired, and I was like, God, if you can take this away from me to the point where I don't need the medicine, I understand that I'm going to have to do the work. I understand that I'm not going to be perfect. I understand that I have to embrace the fact that I have a mental disorder. I'm okay with that. But I just don't want to be medically dependent on something. I just didn't. And I was like, if you can take this away from me, I will give you my life. Now, mind you, he had already had me to a degree, but I just got to that point. Because the caveat to this is, my anxiety was so bad. Remember, my daughter's 21. So this started when she was turning 2. She was turning 1. She was turning 2. And it was getting really bad. And I had never experienced it before. So one weekend, I was twitching. So it looked like I had Tourette. It looked like I had Tourette syndrome, and it was bothering me because people would look at me and stare everywhere I went, and I couldn't stop twitching. So these twitches lasted for a couple days, right? And then these twitches began to manifest themselves into full-on mental grandma seizures. So I was having pseudo seizures every day.
Oh, wow.
And from the time my daughter was 2, I had it for like a year. Me being active duty, I had to take time off of work because I had one at work or at my duty station. After we came back from running, I had an episode in the shower, and they were like, "Nope, you can't be here. You're a liability. You gotta go." Mm-hmm. So I had to be home, and I was home for another 6 months. I couldn't drive my daughter. I couldn't be home with my daughter. As a grown woman, I had to go to my parents' house for them to babysit me so that I wouldn't hurt myself. Now, mind you, these were pseudo seizures because I wasn't losing my bowels. I wasn't biting my tongue. I wasn't doing any of that. But because my anxiety had taken over so much of my subconscious that it began to manifest itself in that way. And I've had these issues off and on for a number of years. So I always know when it is because I begin to twitch. So I always know when it's coming. That's how I know when I'm not sleeping. That's how I know when I don't have my stress under control. Mm-hmm. That's how I know when I'm not focused and I'm running around doing 50 million things. I can feel a switch. I'm like, if one switch comes, I shut everything down. Yep. I tell my husband, like, honey, I love you, but today I need a day. I need a day to just do nothing. I need to just look at TV and not think about nothing. Yeah. I just need a day.
Yep.
So it's those things, and that's part of when I started to chew gum, because when I wasn't having them, because having your daughter, at that time my daughter was in middle school, but having her have to sit in the kitchen with you to keep you from hitting your head on the counter, because I was having between 10 to 20 seizures a day.
Oh my gosh.
Because again, they weren't medical, they were all mental. And we don't realize, as a community of people, we don't realize how serious mental health is.
Yeah, definitely.
Your body will tell you when you're having a problem.
Yep.
And we as a people have to begin to pay attention to it. Sometimes our body talks, and sometimes our body screams.
Yeah.
And sometimes our body whispers. But you need to be able to listen to it before it gets to its scream.
No, that's real.
It's something that we as a people, we're not taught to focus on mental health. We're not taught to go to therapy. Whatever happens in this house stays in this house. Yeah. You don't tell nobody nothing that goes on in this house.
Yep. You're right, though. You're right.
Because we're taught that, we don't know how to process things when mental disorders are actually real for us. We don't know how to process them.
Yep.
So, you really have to take the time to try to find what works for you. Music helps me, gum helps me, and always working out. Like, going to the gym, lifting some weight, or going for a run it releases the endorphins and it helps me. But working out isn't for everybody. Gum may not be for everybody.
Yeah, because just to go back to the piece that you were saying about not sleeping and everything like that, I feel like and I finally kind of shared this with some people and stuff like that, and I guess I will be sharing it to whoever pressed play on this episode as well.
Go ahead, press play.
But
good.
Right. So, I just feel like a lot of my sleeping came into play, when my mom passed away. So, what happened, like I was asleep, right? So get a phone call, wake up. I didn't wake up, to be honest. I didn't hear my phone. So, like, the only reason I knew something was up is because, got up, went to the bathroom, came back, checked my phone, and I see all these missed calls, right? So long story short, got the phone call. My mom was in the hospital or whatever. So I feel like, from there, having that anxiousness, and I know that there was nothing I could do. I was in North Carolina at the time. I'm originally from Virginia. So my mom and my dad, they're in VA, right? Family, like cousins, aunts, uncles, all in VA, right? So, obviously there was nothing I could do. I'm about an hour and a half away, whatever. But it was just knowing that, like, I don't know. So you kind of psych yourself out a little bit. It's like, oh man, if I had heard that call, like maybe I could have gone and see, you know what I'm saying? It's just like your mind just plays all these freaking tricks on you. So then it's like you can't sleep because of fear of getting some type of call like that, but it's like you cannot live your life like that. And I'll admit, it's been, what was it, 2011, and that's another thing. You suppress a lot of things too during those, serious moments. So like 2011, so, it's been a minute, 9 years now, which is crazy to even think about. But yeah, so it's been an ongoing struggle. I mean, like I said, I do feel like I've gotten a lot better just taking different measures. And to your point too, definitely music is a good escape. Like sometimes I'll even just put instrumental on just so I can just be free of like words or like any type of conversation. But yeah, so definitely writing and music and truly enough, I know this is still fresh in the making, but with this podcast, though, it's definitely, allowed me to open up in other ways that I didn't think that I would. So this has also been, a good, therapeutic release for me as well, because, I'm able to share my story, but also connect with my guests in different ways, whether it is on a mental health, whether it's just business in general, or, just anything that we may connect or have some commonality in. So it's definitely been good, like all the way around. So I definitely...
It's those little things, that people take for granted.
Yeah.
It's because, well, first of all, congratulations to you.
Thanks.
if I had a little clapper, I do have a clapper. If I had a clapper...
Right.
Because it takes a lot. It takes courage to talk about it. 2, it takes courage to deal with it.
Yeah.
3, it takes courage to be able to want to allow yourself, because the burden of what could I have done? Well, maybe I could have done this different. The burden of that will sometimes cripple you.
Mm-hmm.
It can cripple you physically, and it can cripple you mentally, because that will take over your life. So when you have allowed yourself to be able to walk in the freedom of newness, to say, okay, I need to do something that's going to help me get out of this place, that is a big deal. It's a big deal, because a lot of people don't do it. They're comfortable with sitting in it.
Yeah.
And it's a horrible, horrible feeling. And it's like our connection was not by happenstance. Because I it wasn't my mom by grace of God, but the woman who raised me,
mm-hmm.
pretty much, and was my angel on earth, was my grandmother. When my mother called me, TMI, but this is how dramatic I could be. I was asleep. I was naked, and I was asleep. And I answered this phone, and my mother called, and I got up, running around the room, screaming crazy at the top of my lungs. No! Like a crazy person.
Yep.
Running around, and then fell to the floor and was just crying and crying and crying. But the part that got me wasn't because that she was gone, but it was because I let my mother tell me that the day before that I didn't need to go see her because she was tired and she was sleeping all day.
Mm.
So the guilt of me not seeing her, saying, letting her know, 1, that it was okay, or 2, I didn't want her to go and I needed her to fight, that guilt ate me up.
Yeah.
And then getting a phone call from my child when she was in school in West Virginia, and to get a phone call at midnight that your child had flipped over her car, and you in West Virginia 4 hours away, what you supposed to do?
Right, yep.
When I tell you the fear that ran through me, so it still, even after that, it took me a while to go to sleep. It took me a while, like even, I can sleep hard, but I always hear my phone. I always hear my phone. It even got to the point where I had to go get an Apple Watch. If I got to wear my watch when I'm asleep, I'm not missing a call. I'm not missing anything.
Yep.
But it's a very serious situation. But like I said, congratulations to you.
I appreciate it.
You decided to not wallow. You decided to be the change you want to see.
Absolutely. Now, like I said, it wasn't easy getting over that hump, but definitely in a way better place now.
But the blessing in it is you didn't allow that to
True.
You could have stayed there. You could have stayed there. And it's like, it's not easy. You know, that's my mom. I lost my mom. But you said, I got to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, I gotta figure this out. I have to get past it. Something else has to change.
Definitely.
But you said that, and you allowed yourself to be in that moment. You allowed yourself to be free instead of just being in a cage of sadness and darkness and unforgiveness of yourself. So it's a big deal.
Yeah. No, well, I appreciate you for that. And kudos to you as well. So, and I appreciate you for, opening up and sharing about, with anxiety and just your story too, because, like you said, it does take a lot of courage for, just to open up about that kind of stuff, because it's not talked about that heavy in our communities and things like that, because the stigma is like, oh, you're weak, or, we don't do that and whatever. Like, we don't really talk about that kind of stuff. And like, I grew up in a loving home and everything, but sometimes I just didn't share my feelings because, like, how you said you're kind of a introvert, like you are an extrovert, but like I'm kind of the same way. I'm an extroverted introvert because like I can be in front of people, I can talk with you and do this but sometimes too I just like to be in the background and just observe. So sometimes, and then growing up as a kid too, you don't really know how to process a lot of your emotions anyway. Right. So then it's just like, oh God, what am I doing? You know what I mean? But as you get older, you learn to cope with that kind of stuff, or at least try to figure certain things out. But I mean, it's no fault of anybody. It's just a matter of, possibly, making mental health and all that stuff, putting a platform out there and just being more aware of it, and just letting everybody know that, you're not alone in this. Like, there's people that go through this like on a daily. So, like I said, if somebody's inspired by this, it made my day, right? So, like, you just never know.
Pass the offering cup. You want to cash?
Right. So, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just good to like have, something or somebody to be like, oh, well, let me play back that episode, or hell, reach out to me, reach out to you. Like, I'm open. Like, hit me up.
It's the thing that I tell is like, I try to, people think that I am just this way. I wake up and I'm just goofy, because I go on my Facebook in the morning most of the time, and like on my personal Facebook page, and I'm screaming at people in the morning. I'm like, hey, get up. Mm-hmm. Wipe the crust from around your lips, put on some deodorant because you funky, get your butt out the house, it's time to go. Normally I do that in the morning, and it's usually like 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's dark and it's cold. But people think that I'm just like that initially, and it's like, no, I had to get to a point in my life where I'm like, guess what? I can't take life too seriously. Tomorrow is not promised, and I'll be goddamn if I'm going to leave here mad and angry, or got an attitude and ain't laughed today, ain't laughed in a couple of days. That won't be my life. I refuse to let it be that. I will not be consumed by anybody else's mess. I just won't. So whatever I got to do to keep it light or bring some light to somebody else, that's what I'm going to do. Yep. You cannot just take life so seriously that you're so consumed with your day-to-day that you forget to live.
Right, because that is one of my missions. I ordered this planner. I actually did an interview with her. Her name is Grace, and she is the creator of the...
Hey, Miss Grace!
She is the creator of the Aravista planner, and like she has daily reflections and certain things in her planner that is really amazing, right? So, one of the things that I did put in there that I'm working on is not letting people, get to me who don't bring me value in my life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like, a lot of times we get caught up in, what so-and-so said or what they're doing and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, I don't care. Like, I'm focused on me and like everything else that I have to do. Like, because if it's not going to make me money, make me happy, like, goodbye, see ya. Like, I deal with you because I have an 8-hour window. of dealing with you. But after that, peace. I'm out.
But it's like people have a hard time with it. They don't want to hurt people's feelings. And it's like, well, they have a problem hurting your feelings. So
Hello.
That.
Exactly.
And it's just like there oftentimes we get so caught up, and it's like you can't be in a situationship, a friendship, relationship, whatever ship decides to dock in your life. You can't be in something where you always making deposits and somebody else always making withdrawals. It can't happen.
I like that.
It cannot happen. And we tend to think, okay, well, people are only in your life for a season and so forth and so on. No, you're not in my life for a season. Some people are in your life for a cycle. Just like we as women, we got a cycle once a month. And after that cycle, it's gone, right? Sometimes people are only in your life for a cycle. We can't keep people that's supposed to be in our life for a cycle and then for a season. And if you're in for a season, we can't keep you. If you're only supposed to be a season, we want you there for a lifetime. It don't always work.
Yep.
Sometimes we have to get out of our own way. Because oftentimes we just want people to see us. We want to take care of people. You know, it's like, oh, that person's been hurt so much. Hey, listen, my first name is not Waste and my last name is not Mandy. Don't dump your trash over here so that you feel good when you go home. And then I'm stuck dealing with my own crap. And now I got to carry your trash to the dumpster.
Right, feeling extra drained, right?
It's too much. I don't have the energy for it, right? Yeah. That's a hard no for me.
Yeah, and that's also another thing that I'm working on, just, being, like, taking that time for myself, and, like, if it doesn't fit in my schedule, then I'm not going to do it. Like, I'm not here to, keep pleasing people, and, and of course, the old saying, like, you shouldn't expect anything, right? But as humans, we have that, switch where it's like, oh, you would hope somebody would, do the same, but we're all not wired that way, even though we may have that thought, we just don't do it. But yeah, like, I mean, sometimes it's just a matter of saying no, and if I can't do it, then I can't do it. Like, and that's what it is. Like, I'm not saying no forever, it's just no right now. So and if this no right now affects you to the point where you and your feelings, then we were never friends. We were never anything. Yes, exactly.
It affects you because that means you don't have enough respect for me and my peace of mind. Because I'm so sorry. You can take anything from me that you want. You want to take a pair of shoes. You want to take my gum. You want to take my phone. You can take it. But the minute you try to take my peace, baby, I'm cutting you all the way off.
Yep.
I'm going to cut you all. You're going to be under a fly suit. Because the minute that you try to take my peace, and anybody that knows me knows my peace is something that I require because I do have a very busy life. So it's just like, you can pick with me, you can get mad with me, that's cool. But the minute I feel like you trying to play tug of war with my peace, oh, you gotta go. And no is a complete sentence. Now, and you have to be okay with that. And if you're not okay with that, then we just wasn't cool from Jump Street. But listen, I do my best to try to support, as many black businesses as possible.
Definitely.
Right? So because I don't always get a chance to go out and do things, I have my nail lady who comes to the house. That's my piece, because me and her will sit and talk about the kids. We'll have good old girl conversations. And I have someone else who comes and does my pedicures, and there's a mobile massage people. They come over sometimes for me and my husband. So it's like you gotta find time for yourself. And sometimes it ain't always leaving, because sometimes you gotta leave your house, and then your peace is disrupted because it's traffic. It's an accident. Somebody call you on the phone. It's people with a funky attitude in the nail salon. It's the person that's giving you a masseuse, they not heavy enough, or they light enough. Like, if I have it at home and everybody wants to do mobile businesses, I'm like, you know what? I can get dressed in my own house. I can mind my own business and get my own drink my own wine that I know tastes like something. Not your little $5.99 wine. My wine that tastes like something. I can drink and enjoy myself at home. But that's because I make sure that monthly, Tara has that little bit of me time.
Yep, absolutely. So with that too, So what struggles or successes would you like to highlight since creating PS 101?
The struggle?
Yeah, we'll start there.
So, because
and then end on the success.
because it's, when it comes to, because I have to do events, right? I can't just sell things online. People have to smell stuff. So trying to, because I can be a little extra, can you tell? I can be a little extra.
I love it.
So trying to find the right tablescape, trying to make sure that your table is inviting, that will bring people over, that will intrigue them to say, well, what is this? That was a struggle for me. Because most of the time you do these events and you only get a 6-foot table and an 8x6 space, and you can't bring a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do here. Like, I'm confused. I don't know what to do here. You're putting me in a box, and I don't know what to do. So between that, trying to find the right display. It may seem insignificant for people. When I tell you, if you think about it, you could be in a mall and you will walk past a store, a kiosk. If somebody's setting up food, you will walk right past it unless it's eye-catching. If it doesn't catch your eye, it doesn't matter how good the product is. You're going to walk right past it. Period.
Yep.
Like the kids say, period, poo, you're going to walk right past it. That's just going to be it. So that was a really big struggle for me. And it probably took me almost my whole first year of business to get, I tried different things, probably almost the first year, but now I can switch it up and I can do different things because now I'm familiar with it. The other struggle, trying to find time to do my finances. Me being a budget person, you would think that it would be easy. But it's not. Like, I have my budget and I track all my stuff, but just being able to make time monthly, like at month end, to close out the book for the month.
You're speaking my language.
It's time-consuming. And it's hard to try to carve out the time for that because you're tired. And the minute that you have a few minutes, that ain't what you want to do. I don't want to see Dale. Me and Dale not together. Me and Dale, I will see you when I see you. Yeah. I don't want to look at you, Dale, with your side chick XL. I don't want to see y'all right now. I don't want to see y'all right now. So trying to find time to do finances, trying to have a work-life self-balance. Yeah. Because working, being in ministry, having a husband, having children, even though they're older, they need you more as they're older than they do when they're younger. But having children, doing that, and having a business, and at some point in there, finding me. Yeah. Making sure that me is still a focus. Making sure that me is still important. Those have been like the major significant struggles. And I guess the accomplishments. Yeah. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, your successes. Yep.
Oh, there you go. Success is a big F word. My successes, I would have to say, I have learned so much. So much. And I am proud of what I've learned as far as my brain goes. I'm proud of what I've learned because let me tell you something. I paid a lot of money to a brain strategist, and she was really good. But trying to, and she wanted to mimic me behind Bath and Body Works, and I thought it was a good idea at first. And then I'm like, well, hold on now. Wait a minute. That's not who we are. Bath and Body Works is Bath and Body Works. They got nothing to do with PS 101. So for me, as much as I respected her work and that money went out the window and I appreciated what she did for me, my success was saying, you know what, Kara? You are not a big brand. You're trying to get there. People, as long as your labels and your branding is consistent and neat and it's appealing, that's all you need to worry about. Because she wanted me to have a color for this and a color for that and a color for this. Hey, that's not us. Right. So one of my big successes was owning who I am. Owning the fact that PS 101 is red, black, and white. Period. PS 101 is simple. PS 101 is inexpensive because I'm a frugal thing and I'm cheap. So my biggest success was learning and owning who I am and what my brand stands for, and not letting anyone else sway me in either direction. Yep. Maybe what you get paid to do, and you know it, and that's great. But the people that need to see me will see me when it's time, and I believe that. And it's not going to be because I got a pink label, a purple label, a red label, and a blue label. That ain't gonna be
right.
They're gonna see me because someone has given them a product, and the quality of the product was just that. And my other accomplishment, I do a lot of events, but I only do specific targeted events. So being able to fine tune where my people are and not deviating from, not being so cracked to sell something, that I focus on my people and the other people that may come, but I focus on them. Because if I'm in Waldorf, if I'm in Baltimore, if I'm in Annapolis, if I'm in Virginia, if I'm in North Carolina, if I'm here, and there, okay, so when are the people that have been rocking with me, when are they able to just come every weekend to just support?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I gotta think about everybody. So I have two boss friends who opened up a store, so I go between their stores, and that's my consistency. So my other biggest success was consistency. Not only with the branding, but consistency with my vendor locations. And it may seem insignificant to people, but when you're in this vendor world, it is really important for you to be able to fine tune and understand where your people are, because depending on the price point of your product, you have to be able to go to where your people are. Because if I sold a $30 candle, like, I can't be in Southeast DC. It's because there ain't nobody gonna buy it.
Right.
You know, you have to be able, you gotta make sense. You gotta make sense of things. So those are my two successes. And my other third success was, now this is a big deal, all right? For anybody out there that makes their own stuff, then you will understand. This was a big deal for me because I have help. And if you make any product or have a business, especially if you make products and you have recipes, it's very hard to relinquish the throne and have other people come and help you.
Yep.
And this last 6 months, when I knew it was going to get crazy, my niece, who's amazing, she comes to me and she sets up that event. So if I'm talking to one person, she talks to another person. And my god sister, my sister, we have been friends since we were 13, so almost 30 years. She comes over here and she's here to 12, 1 o'clock at night, and she helps me. So me being able to say, okay, Karen, if you want to take PS 101 to the next level, you got to be able to accept help. And that is a huge success for me because I never did. So being able to accept the help and welcome the help was a big deal.
No, I feel you. That is huge because, it's your creation, like you started, and it is tough to let go of the reins. So I can definitely understand where you're coming from with that. So definitely, that is a big thing because I definitely have opened up, because aside from this too, I have, other ventures that I'm working on right now. And so I've opened it up, and I too have enlisted the help of about 4 other women. And thankfully they said yes, so thank you to them. But you're right. So like just them wanting to help and be a part of it is just huge. But just me having that, mindset, like you said, you can't do it all. So it's necessary to, bring people into the fold. But I know yours is a little more personal because with your formulas and things like that, that is a lot more sensitive, than, what I'm working on right now. So I can understand, keeping that close to you. So I get it. So, Kara, what do you think is to come for you in the rest of your journey? Like, where do you see yourself and PS 101?
I've thought about it, and then I have, how you think about something, you have to laugh at yourself because it's like, girl, you were really reaching. But I kind of want to. I want to be a social media trending topic.
Okay.
Not just for my business, but for who I am. Because I see a lot of people doing different things, and like it's not a goal for me, but it's something that I wouldn't mind doing, because me and my foolishness and my excellence is just a little different. Because it's like, you know, it's clean comedy, it's reality. It's just my reality. So when I do stuff or say stuff or get on Facebook or whatever the case may be, that's just my reality. So people are like, oh my God, thank you so much. I need this in the morning. It helps me out so much. I'm like, listen, girl, you know what time I get up in the morning? I need this for my own self.
Right.
Y'all just happen to be a party to the foolery. I gotta wake my own self up to go in this here office. But I want people to be able to see, because again, everything goes back to my faith. And I want people to be able to see, like, just because you're saved, you have a belief in something, whatever that may be. You ain't got to be dry and serious all the time and trying to be a life coach, preaching to people. You ain't got to do all of that. Just be yourself.
Yep.
It's totally cool. Be the best version of you that you can be. So that's what I would like to do. And of course, I want to see PS 101. I need to see PS 101 on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. I need it to be under one of them statues or something. It needs to be sprayed in the White House. No, for real. I want us to be able to reach as many people as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily, I cannot say that I want it in a store. I want PS 101 to have its own store. I want it to be its own entity. I want it to stand on its own.
Absolutely.
Because I want people to understand what it is, where the foundation was, where the foundation came from. I don't want to get lost on the shelf with somebody else. And granted, it's just like the grocery store. You know, you can pick and choose what you want. Mm-hmm. But I want PS 101 to stand on its own. I want people to be like, oh, that's that girl PS. I want it to stand on its own. Whatever that means for my brand, whether it's a store, whether it's a humongous online presence, and I only do online because that's really where we're going in the world. Mm-hmm. Whatever that means for PS 101, I want it to be its own entity completely. I want it to be significant enough for people to know what it is when they see it. When they see a black label, a black bottle with a white label, they know that's PS 101. If they hear somebody talk about some fragrance, some notes in a candle, I want them to say, oh, that's that girl PS. She got that candle. I want it to stand on its own. I want it to be identifiable by the greatness of the product.
I like that. Yeah, no, I mean, definitely just keep grinding, keep doing what you're doing, and it'll definitely get there for sure. But for now, so before we get out of here though, where can my listeners find you? I know, right? But where can my listeners find you on your socials, like your website, all that good stuff?
Okay, we are PS 101 Soy Candles on Facebook and Instagram. I wish I had. What am I? I think I'm PS 101 Candles on Twitter, and on Snapchat, I think I am P-S101 on Snapchat. And it is all kinds of foolery that takes place. I am not responsible for what you see. I'm going to say that now. The website is very simple. I was told that you're supposed to keep it under 7 syllables. So it is pscandles.com. PapaSamCandles.com. Again, that is PapaSamCandles.com. Very, very simple. If you ever need to contact me or email me, it is info at pscandles.com.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. But again, Kara, thank you so much for being a part of this tonight.
Thank you. My cherry has been popped, y'all. I ain't a podcast virgin no more.
Yay, I'm glad I could be your first. Oh,
yes.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, as you could tell, we had a lot of fun recording this episode, but make sure you check out Kara and all her amazing products. But until the next episode, keep creating. Bye.